So I wake up this morning and I expect to see a bunch of information about who the Jets could possibly bring in for interviews, but that's not what I saw. The first thing I saw when I woke up was a flurry of articles by Brian Costello of the New York Post, where he interviewed Woody Johnson. And I immediately go back to the Athletic article that Diana Rossini and Zach Rosenblatt wrote a few weeks ago, basically throwing Woody Johnson under the bus, right? Talking about the Madden ratings, talking about his son being involved in football decisions, talking about how he soured on Aaron Rodgers. And this is basically Woody's chance to get his side of the story out there, his chance to really fire back at those reports. So I want to bring up two of those articles that were written. I want to read them to you, and I want to give my reaction. So here was the first one I saw. It said, Woody Johnson has no regrets with Jets firing, while adamant he has a plan to build a winner. Great. So scroll down here, and his first quote was, what we're doing right now can be transformative and will be transformative, Johnson said. I think our process of making the change when we did was the right time and place. We knew exactly what was going to happen with the regime that was in. I felt really comfortable with it. So I don't know what to believe, because when he first let Robert Saleh go, the very first thing that he said was he was looking to inject a spark into the team. Now he's telling us that he knew what was going to happen when he got rid of Robert Saleh. Quote, I knew exactly what was going to happen with the regime that was in. So you tanked the season. You intentionally tanked the season. If you did not like Robert Saleh, if you did not like Joe Douglas, you should have gotten rid of him in the last offseason, not fired him week 5. And to fire him week 5 threw the whole team into a flux. Right? We only got 3 more wins out of the entire season. So were you lying then? Or are you lying now? Which is it? Were you trying to spark the team? Or did you know what was going to happen and you decided to do it anyway? Which honestly, a lot of Jet fans are kind of okay with. They wanted them gone. They wanted the season to tank. They wanted to start fresh. And that's an argument for another video. I just don't like how we're getting 2 different stories here. Quote, I want to have a team they can be proud of, talking about us fans. And we know that him and his son Brick are on social media, and I'm sure they fully understand how the fans feel. I want to be great on the field. I want to be great off the field. I want them to be absolutely proud to wear Jets in front and back everywhere they go. That's what we're trying to do. I'm pretty positive we can do it. Okay, fine. That's good. Because I am embarrassed at times to wear my Jets stuff. Right? I only wear it on Sundays and sometimes only for a half because I just can't take watching this team anymore. Quote, it's about leadership. It's about commitment it's about leadership. It's about commitment to running a football operation. It's a football operation. It's a football team. You need the right kind of people. You need the right kind of leadership. You need coaches who are teachers and accountability they have to run it like a successful team. Completely agree. And that's why I think that one of the few guys that can actually get us there is Vrabel. And we'll get into another video about head coaching decisions and Mike Vrabel and how it's likely that he's not going to come here now with the Patriots getting rid of Jerome Mayo. But I completely agree. You need someone in there who's going to start keeping guys accountable. You need a guy who is going to be, for lack of a better term, a kick-ass guy. Who's not going to take any bullshit. Who's not going to take any crap on social media. I agree with this sentiment. Johnson was asked if he regrets firing Saleh when he did. No, not at all, he said. I was very, very sure that I was making the right decision. I didn't do it to spark or anything like that. I didn't do it for that reason. I just knew everything that I needed to know about that situation. But you said you were trying to get a spark when you first did it. So now you're saying it wasn't for a spark. I don't know what to believe as far as the firing of Robert Saleh. I agree he should not have been here, but I disagree with when it happened. It's pretty clear that Woody Johnson decided to intentionally tank the season. And going back to the Athletic article, he tanked a trade for Jerry Jeudy. He injected himself into GM decisions with Devontae Adams and Hassan Reddick. It's too much meddling. Make your decisions, make your opinions know about what you want to do with the team in the offseason and let the guys run with it. Talking about Aaron Rodgers. From a number standpoint, he did okay. Except for the most important number, winning games, Johnson said. But that's going to be up to the coach. The coach will have to decide what the quarterback situation is. That's going to be a very important job for the general manager and the coach. What do we want and when do we get it and what's our timeline? That's where does Aaron Rodgers fit into that? At the beginning of the season, I said this was a talent. At the beginning of the season, I said this is from a talent standpoint, this is one of the best teams I've ever had. No, it's not. Maybe you have some really good guys in certain spots, but overall, I think the talent is kind of overrated on this team. To go with that, you had coaches that couldn't squeeze out more, and you end up with a 5-win season. I'm sorry, but he still agrees with the fact that he thinks he has the most talented roster in his 25 years of being here, yet not one guy is going to the Pro Bowl. Not one. So, the other article, I'll bring it up here, talks about Brick Johnson, talks about how or what his role could possibly be with the team. And Woody Johnson says outright, my son Brick has no role in football in the Jets' decisions. I think, and this is talking about the Athletic article, I think the article is a typical smear piece. Nobody really stood up and put their name on anything. It's absolutely untrue. Everything was out of context. When you're losing games, it gives people the artistic license to kind of do what they want. I get it. Was there ever a conversation where Madden ratings popped up in a meeting and someone may have skewed that and turned it into what it was? Was there ever a conversation where Woody Johnson said, hey, why don't we bench Aaron Rodgers, either jokingly or maybe talking about maybe we rest him for injury purposes? And does that get twisted by someone in the organization that does not like Woody Johnson? Clearly, the Athletic, Diana Rossini, and Zach Rosenblatt do have someone within the organization that does not like Woody Johnson. And until the team gets out of its own way, until the team has a culture, a winning culture in there, nothing will change. We will continue to get articles slamming the team. We will continue to get players on social media looking like fools. It will continue to happen until the culture is changed, until someone comes in there and actually makes a difference. We haven't had a difference maker at head coach since Bill Parcells. And the reason why we were semi-successful in the early 2000s with Herm Edwards, Eric Mangini, and leading into 09 and 10 is because I believe the culture that Bill Parcells put in way back continued in the organization. That's what I feel. And nothing's going to change until they get that guy in there. I don't know who it's going to be. I want it to be Mike Vrabel, but it looks like that may not happen now. So they have a tough decision ahead of them. And hopefully the 33rd team can get them on the right path. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about these two articles. Let me know what you think about Woody Johnson. Does this suffice some of your need to hear from the owner? Does this kind of change your perspective of the team? Change your perspective of the Athletic article? I think the Athletic article was probably somewhere around 60 to 70% true, with things being twisted. But it's still a bad look. It's still bad to have articles like that come out, no matter what. See you next time.